Back when I was in middle school, I went through this phase where I was just a punk kid. I had a bad attitude. I wasn't very nice to people. It was just kind of a ugly time for me. And I'll never forget my brother, who's 6 years older than me, sat me down and gave me some great advice. So Jeff, thank you for doing that for me. But he sat me down. He pretty much just said, hey, what is your deal? Like, what is going on with you right now? And I gave him these reasons, or I gave him these responses where I was trying to justify what was happening. But the reality was I didn't really have any good reasons. I was kind of just being a punk with a bad attitude. And I'll never forget, he gave me this poem or this something from Chuck Swindoll, and it's called Attitude. And it says, the longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. Attitude to me is more important than facts. It is more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures, than success, than what other people think, say, or do. It is more important than appearance, giftedness, or skill. It will make or break a company, a church, or a home. The remarkable thing is we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we embrace for that day. We cannot change our past. We cannot change the fact that people will act in a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play the one string we have, and that is our attitude. I am convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. And so it is with you. We are in charge of our attitudes. And the reason why that was so significant for me is because it forced me to realize that even though circumstances around me may not be exactly what I wanted, or things might be happening I didn't like, I was still the one solely responsible for the way I responded to those things. It was still completely up to me and me alone to choose the attitude I was going to have in response to those things. And as I've gotten older, I think it is absolutely true that life is 10% circumstances and 90% attitude, or the way we react. And for me, what I realized is when my attitude goes south, usually what it is I've just allowed my focus to be on the wrong things. I choose to see life from this negative, everything's terrible and everything is bad perspective. Instead of realizing there's actually a lot of really great things around me, I'm just choosing not to see those, or I'm choosing not to focus on those. So what helps me frequently is I read Philippians 4:8-9, and it says this: finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. What you have learned and received and heard and seen in me, practice these things, and the God of peace will be with you. So if attitude is something that you've been struggling with a little bit, I would say it might be a good idea for you to write down a few things that God has done to bless you, to change your focus onto the positive things that are around you instead of what the easy thing is, and that's just to see all the negative. To take ownership of your attitude and understand circumstances do not get to dictate how you're going to view life and how you're going to look at the coming day.